These are days of happiness for the Brazilian soccer player Vinicius Junior, since his goals, assists and dribbles place him among the most influential players in Carlo Ancelotti's team. The Italian coach, like the president Florentino Perez, is very confident in the potential of the 21-year-old football player who already has his own empire. However, this didn't arise from the roots of the earth, since he was in charge of gradually forming it as his excellence as an athlete increased. That is why, in this video, we will tell you everything about the small and talented footballer born in Rio de Janeiro who is already a giant in the capital of Spain. His talent began to emerge from a very young age in Flamengo, and his personal brand has been building since he was 13 years old. So, he has currently built a work team that takes care of the most important aspects of his sporting life, from food to his finances. Vinicius is known to have assembled his own structure. It is a working group called Time VJR, VJR Team by the initials of his name. And it is divided into two. There are 12 employees who work only for him, in addition to 27 other people who provide their services but without exclusivity. In this entourage, there are different types of professionals who support the empire that the Brazilian winger has built over the years, and they range from a French chef who takes care of his food up to his physical trainer Thiago Lobo, with whom he was training almost during the first months of the pandemic at home. The chef delivers balanced dishes without the player serving himself as much as he wants. For his part, the physiotherapist works hard on the post-game rehabilitation and injury prevention in his gym at home. In this structure, there is also a family office to manage family assets, and they have hired a company to manage their career in Europe with legal and financial assistance. He also has the support of TFM, the representation agency that has accompanied him since he was a child. Vinicius currently has the main sponsorship of Nike, in addition to contracts with Gaga Milano and Dolce & Gabbana. He has been an ambassador for EA Sports' FIFA 2020 game, so he currently rakes in nearly $1 million annually. On the other hand, his salary is one of the most modest of the team, since he earns about $3.5 million net. But he was booked when he was only 16 years old, and in the pandemic he had to agree to a 10% pay cut. Besides having all this, he also has facilities in Brazil for the Vinicius Junior Institute, focused on the education of the neediest girls and boys in Rio de Janeiro. About $2 million have been spent to put into operation this educational system that he considers very important within his empire. The present of Vinicius Junior is reflected in the incredible growth of his market value. And the thing is that the Real Madrid player, who arrived in mid-2018, has really exploded this season at the hands of Ancelotti, and not only managed to win the undisputed title in the capital's team, but has also witnessed a significant rise in the market value in the world of soccer. According to this, the White House winger has accumulated 29 goals since his arrival at Real Madrid, despite not being a scorer by nature or position. Regarding the latter, the former Flamengo managed to turn around a situation that was complex in his early years in the Spanish capital, being that in the 3 previous seasons he had scored just one more goal than he did in the current edition. That, without a doubt, makes clear the evolution he had as a player, added to a mental maturity typical of his young age, and the search for excellence in terms of professionalism according to what was mentioned above. Those who have seen him playing are sure that Vinicius Junior has all the qualities to become one of the great soccer players in the history. That was the reason why Real Madrid did not hesitate to pay something like $50 million to ensure that the young Flamengo star wears the white clothes from 2019 up to today. In fact, his arrival was delayed longer than they would have expected, since Vinicius was only 16 years old and had only one game played in Brazilian professional football when the Spanish managers set their sights on him. In Madrid, they were convinced that they were signing a future football jewel, but it remained to be seen if the most expensive teenager in football history would evolve to become what was expected of him. However, it clearly paid off. The fact is that those $50 million invested for him are already far away being that today. Whoever wants to get his services will have to disperse at least the double of the aforementioned figure. It is true that the possibilities when entering into a negotiation can be many and very diverse, but his actual market value is valued at 100 million euros. The market value is an estimate of the value of players throughout the world. In this way, based on different football factors of the players such as age, current status, position, team, selection, injuries, and resale value, a number in money value is given as a result that refers to what that player would be worth in a future sale. Having clarified this, Vinicius began 2020 with a market value close to 45 million euros. However, has shown he was able to double his current value, which rose to the named 100 million euros in the football market today. That said, Vinicius saw his first steps with Real Madrid go through with poor performances that generated serious questions about his signing and the money invested by the Spanish team. However, and given all the odds, the 21-year-old was able to turn the situation around and is now an essential piece in the Italian coach's squad. As a result of this, Vinicius forced players like Hazard and Bale to wait their turn in the substitutes bench. Players who, although they are not in their best physical and footballing moment in another team, would be headlines without any doubt. Vinicius Junior is already a reality. At 21 years old, and being today the flag of Real Madrid and the Brazilian team, he predicts an enviable and promising future for him. It's true that there is still a long way to go, and he still has enormous untapped potential. However, he already shows what he is made of, and for lovers of great football, it's a pleasure to enjoy him, as he shows things that are not seen frequently.